But this only happened after you initiated contact with Joanne Jenkins. They only appointed external manager after you contacted Joanne Jenkins.
You mean in 2019?
Via LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's correct. That's right.
So
in
it's only after they realized
yes,
that you had recognized her,
that's correct,
the person who she was soliciting.
Where she was working, especially.
Yeah.
And what role she was in.
So after they realized that,
Yes.
they then decide.
That was around about the time that Howard Bowles contacted me too.
Okay.
In March 21, about that I was apparently selling my business, to which I said, "Who are you? You're calling me at around about 6 p.m." Or around about.
So he called you out of the blue.
After hours, around about the 26th of March 2021, said I asked him who he was, Howard Bowles, on his mobile number, personal, I think. I said, "What do you want?" "Well, I heard you're selling your business." I said, "Well, that's news to me." So basically, he'd heard from this senior associate, this narrative. And I said, "That's not the case, that's news to me."
And that narrative was created so she could then justify taking all the files.
That's correct, and put me under pressure that I would never go after her.
Okay.
While she's now involved while she's married, can I say who she's married to? Would it be pertinent here to mention who she's married to?
It's a free country.
She's married to Mr. Albor now, the chief lawyer at the police commissioner's office.
Okay. And
her name's Cara Albor now, with Cara Bromham at the time.
okay. And
so there's an issue there with what she did of misconduct and breach of employees.
But going back to the situation with Ms. Jenkins and the taking over of your practice. So
correct.
It's in March 2023 or thereabouts.
2021.
No, when you contacted Ms. Jenkins, was it?
It was around about March 2021.
March 2021. Okay.
I just come out of hospital from sepsis. I recall that. That was the time when this senior associate took the business as well. And I had to get new staff.
Okay, and then Mr. Bowles contacts you.
Out of the blue.
And
then it ended up in an email exchange once I knew who he was, because it was highly unusual to call me in the evening, out of the blue, when I'd never had any correspondence with him. And as part of the conversation we had initially that night was, "You're selling, but if you don't sell, we will then move in and take your business."
But then right after that, Ms. Duggan contacted you.
That's correct.
And then appointed Mr. Nailon.
That's correct.
So when was Mr. Nailon appointed again?
Around about August, September 21.
And you were, they started contacting you from June 2021.
That's right.
Ms. Dutton did.
After the Howard Bowles conversation and a couple of emails.
So March 21, you realized that Ms. Jenkins, the person who had been sending you those videos and soliciting you, was working under Mr. Bowles. And a couple of months later, one of Mr. Bowles' subordinates contacts you and says that she was going to appoint an external intervener or an auditor.
And didn't recuse herself, having worked for my practice.
And this was a couple of months after Mr. Bowles, Mr. Bowles also contacted you. And then Mr. Nailon comes in and he basically says that...
he comes in with an agenda, all prepared, having spoken to that senior associate prior to coming in. And
that you have Asperger's and that makes you unqualified effectively.
And you've had desires on this woman who's worked here for 5 years, who's actually put on websites that she loves working for my practice. She got a really good grounding in my practice because she came from Slater and Gordon, where she just did accident compensation law. So in my practice, she got a full rounding of family law, criminal law, all the areas of law.
So they had an employee who, the Legal Services Commissioner's office, who had been effectively, you allege with evidence that she had been engaging in unregistered sex work. And when people complain about that, they try to shut them up with the threat of criminal penalty if they speak out. But if someone implies something without any evidence about your interest in them, and they didn't actually allege that you had pursued her or done anything.
Well, he said
explicit.
that I was pursuing her, yes.
In what way?
Pursuing her as a girlfriend. I said, I'm not interested in her.
But was it alleged that you had done anything inappropriate?
Not well, basically she said that I'd been pursuing her, not that I'd done anything appropriate.
So there wasn't any, you weren't alleged to have made any explicit moves?
No.
Okay. And they appointed...
And ultimately I wanted to also add that she had been to my house a number of times in a social setting. You know, coming around to meet my friends and my family.
Okay. And she had never expressed discomfort?
Never. And that was news to me in front of Nolan's discussion.
Okay. And then for that bit, just on that, and the fact that you have Asperger's, of course, they appointed this manager and he gave you, auditor, and he gave you an onerous list of chores to
comply, because I wouldn't accept him as my overseer.
Private overseer, because it was
private fees from his own practice.
Yes, that wasn't something that the board could officially make you do.
No.
So this was a private arrangement that he was suggesting. And did the management system directions that they issued bring any benefit to your clients?
No.
Did they?
It actually worked against the benefit of my clients and my practice, because it cost me an extra staff member that could have been working on files. It took up computer space, computer time. It took me away to have to check those reports every month from handling my clients' matters and assisting my staff and supervising my staff. So this was done on purpose to make my handling of the business and running of my business more difficult.
But they didn't improve you in any way in doing your work, or
no, there was no improvement from that. It was an onerous task, and you could see for what it was. They sent me a brief precedent of what they wanted, like date, file number, file name, and then wanted everything from the file in a tabulation. So you could have 50 to 100 things happen in a month for a file. That all had to go in there, and you're looking at 300 odd files, Shivesh. It is a very onerous task for 12 months to do that, and we complied on the date, and in the end they said it wasn't good enough.
Without explaining how?
No, but they didn't know. It seemed to me that they didn't know what they wanted. They just had to do something to put me under pressure. It was so obvious in the correspondence.
Okay, and then again, this was an auditor who had not been validly appointed, as their annual statement now concedes. Well, the annual statement is from 2022, but you've just been alerted to that fact.
And the second one was also not.
But the second one was because of the first one.
Yeah,
and
appointed by the same person.
Yeah, and then the external manager was because of the two of them.